Good morning, it's Sean Drager here. Today we are in my son's messy, very messy bedroom. Now typically when I walk past and I see it like this, I will give him heck and tell him to clean it up, and usually it doesn't happen, but we try. Today though, I thought, hey, this would be a perfect example of what to do and how to get your house ready to sell. Now, typically when we buy a house or we build a house, we start putting ourselves into it. We start personalizing it, making that house a home. Just like my son, as soon as we started building his room down here, we started deciding, well, he did, where the bed was going to go, where his computer was going, where he was going to put shelves, etc., etc. When we get our house ready to sell, we want to take ourselves out of the house. We want to depersonalize it as much as we can. Things like posters. Take them down. My son, he used to collect these Mighty Mug things. He's not into them anymore, but having 100 of these on a shelf isn't a good idea. Maybe just one or two. When people are looking at your stuff, they're not looking at your house. So we want to depersonalize, and the big thing is we want to declutter. If you're selling your house, you're moving anyways, so why not start packing up as much stuff as you can? Because like I just said, if they're looking at your stuff, they're not looking at your house. So we are going to get this cleaned up. We're going to declutter. We're going to depersonalize. And it may take us a couple days, but we'll get there, and we'll be back to show you what it looks like all fixed up. Catch you soon. Hello again. Here we are in Braden's room. Little bit of a change. Took a few hours. My wife and my son cleaned it up, depersonalized it, took all the posters down, cleaned it up, and decluttered. Everything that's not an absolute necessity to be in the room is out. So now instead of looking at all of Braden's stuff, they're looking at the room. Now they're seeing the huge window for a basement. Now they're seeing the size of the room. Whereas before you couldn't. All you saw was the mess and the stuff. Also, if I was selling the house and this was the color in the living room, etc., I would change the color, or at least strongly recommend to the seller that they change. If it's not possible or their time just doesn't allow, then we've got some other options with Photoshop. The pictures that we post on the web, we could make them black and white so people aren't focusing on the color, or we could even change the color with a little disclaimer that the color has changed. So here's the room now. What a change. Because people buy emotionally and justify logically, now they're getting where they can be emotionally attached to the room, whereas before they just weren't. So here we are, a little bit different angle. We've got the corner shelf for the computer, but nothing else around it. There's not a lot of pens, there's not rulers, there's not homework, just the computer. So that they're not looking at all the stuff, they're looking at the room. So there you go, just a couple pointers and a couple examples on how to get your house ready to sell.